Hey, so you want to see Mount Fuji, the most photographed mountain in Japan that only actually shows up about 80 days a year. 3 days around the lakes gives you enough swings at bat that you'll probably catch it at least once without spending your whole trip refreshing weather apps. I mapped out the whole route in a template, so if you want it, links in the description. Fujikawaguchiko is your base. This is lake country, where every viewpoint is basically a different angle on the same stubborn mountain. Day 1 is your orientation day, lakefront walking, a sunset spot, and a cable car that's worth the queue if the timing's right. Lake Kawaguchi is the most forgiving of the 5 Fuji lakes a wide promenade where you can stroll while you wait for the clouds to cooperate. On a still day, the water doubles the mountain. When the wind picks up, you get ripples and no reflection, which is why patience matters here. Fuji only shows its full peak about 80 days a year, so this lake is basically your comfortable waiting room for the gamble. Afternoon gives you flexibility, stick around for sunset, and you might get lucky after a hazy morning. Oishi Park is where the lake meets curated flower beds and ice cream stands, the polished Instagram-ready version of the waterfront. This is one of the most photographed Fuji spots in Japan, so expect tripods at golden hour and a line for soft serve. Don't plant yourself in the exact middle of the crowd, walk 10 minutes in either direction for quieter angles and basically the same view. Evening catches the sunset behind Fuji if it's visible. If not, you still get lake air and overpriced matcha gelato. The Mt Fuji Panoramic Ropeway is a retro cable car that gets you 400 meters higher on Mount Tenjo for a different angle on the whole region. The ride is 3 minutes. The queue can be an hour on busy days. Mornings are quieter if you don't need sunset from altitude. The view is genuine, but the wait is the catch. High winds shut it down entirely, so check conditions before you commit. If crowds at sunset bother you, skip it. The lake level views are good enough without the line. Day 2 is your photo chasing day. The famous pagoda stairs, a Torii gate built for Instagram, and an old shrine that reminds you this mountain was sacred before cameras existed. Chureito Pagoda is the shot you've seen 1,000 times. 5-story pagoda, cherry blossoms or autumn leaves, Fuji behind it. To get it, you climb 398 stairs up Ara Kuriyama. Your calves will complain, then the view makes you forget them. Sunrise is the play, fewer people, softer light, and the mountain is often clearer before clouds build midday. This was built in the 1960s as a war memorial, so it's not ancient, but it earns the photo anyway. The Mt Fuji Distant Worship Site is a red torii gate that frames Fuji perfectly designed for the photo, but part of an older shrine. Kawaguchi Asama Shrine has been here long before smartphones. The gate just happens to photograph really well. Expect a rotating cast of people queuing for the exact same shot. Take yours, then step aside and actually look at the shrine. Afternoon works because it's a brief stop, not a main event, maybe 20 minutes if you're not waiting behind a tour group. Kitaguchi Hongu Fuji Sengen Shrine is the spiritual counterweight to all that photo-chasing giant teeters, mossy stone lanterns, and 1,000 years of pilgrimage history. The twin sacred cedars at the entrance are over a millennium old. This is where climbers used to come for blessings before heading up Fuji. Walk slowly through the approach. The lantern-lined path sets the tone better than rushing through for content. This place reminds you that the mountain was holy before it was a backdrop. Day 3 goes high and then winds down up to the 5th station on Fuji itself, then village ponds and a hot spring soak to finish. The Fuji Subaru Line 5th station sits at 2,300 meters, the highest you can drive on the mountain, and where actual Fuji climbs begin. You'll feel the altitude and the cold up here. Thin air, wind, and the sudden absence of trees make it real. Morning is clearest and least crowded. Afternoons bring clouds and tour buses. If you're not climbing to the summit, this is a 30 to 60 minute stop with a view and a gift shop dress warmer than you think. Oshino Hakkai is a village of 8 impossibly clear spring ponds, fed by Fuji snowmelt, filtering through lava rock for decades. The water is so transparent, it looks fake, and the thatched roof houses around it add a traditional touch plus food stalls, with steam rising into cold air. Go early or late to miss the tour buses that dominate midday. The ponds are photogenic but not worth a queue. Don't throw coins in the water despite seeing others do it. Signs explicitly forbid it, and 1,000 years of natural filtration deserves better. Fuji Yurari Hot Spring is one of the few day-use onsens where you can soak in outdoor baths with Fuji visible through the steam. Hot water, cold air, And if you're lucky, the mountain emerges from the mist while you're neck deep in thermal water. Go before noon for emptier baths. Evenings fill with travelers winding down their trip. Standard onsen etiquette applies wash before entering, no swimsuits, and keep voices down. Check ahead if you have visible tattoos since policies vary. 3 days of chasing a mountain that only cooperates sometimes, and somehow that makes it more satisfying when it finally shows up. I put the whole route into a shareable template with a map view. Grab it from the link in the description or pinned comment. Let me know which Fuji viewpoint you'd prioritize if you only had one shot at it.